Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media.
Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to a town named Morris in Litchfield County in West Connecticut. The climate here is a humid continental climate with hot summers and short, mild winters. The elevation is around 1,025 feet above sea level. Towering red maples, black birch, eastern hemlock, and northern red oak forests shelter the numerous white-tailed deer and the handful of moose that live here. There are berries by the bushel along any body of water. The predators in Connecticut include bobcats, coyotes, Canadian lynx, and black bears. In Litchfield County, there's been an alarming trend in bear attacks, and citizens are getting caught in the crossfire. In June of 2022, a bear broke into a home in Canton and terrorized the homeowner. The bear appeared outside the home and gazed into a window. When the owner tried to scare the bear away, it fled into the trees nearby, but soon returned. Breaking into a neighbor's home, it ransacked the kitchen and somehow carried off several food items. Officials killed the bear because it showed no signs of fearing humans or their dwellings. After euthanizing the bear, 4 little cubs were found nearby in the woods. Around 11 a.m. on Sunday, October 16, 2022, James Butler was enjoying watching his grandson play in his backyard. The elderly man was wheelchair-bound, so visits with his grandson were invaluable to him. He watched as his grandson, whom we'll call Billy, ran around in the grass near the trampoline. Next to Butler's home lived Jonathan Digimas and his family. The Digimas were outside doing some yard work when they saw a large black bear emerge from the stand of trees that butted up to the adjoining lots. He watched warily as the bear stared at him and his wife, but soon turned its head in Billy's direction. Jonathan knew he didn't want this bear to linger and began making noise to frighten it away. It acted as if Digimas weren't even there, then dashed toward Billy. James was relaxing when he heard Billy yell, "Bear!" bringing him back to reality. He glanced up to see Billy being dragged across the grass by the bear. It had bitten onto the 10-year-old's thigh and was packing him into the woods. Now, I know I've mentioned how protective grandmas are of children, but grandpas can be pretty protective too, even if they are limited in their mobility. James wheeled his chair toward the bear while yelling and screaming a tirade that would make a sailor blush. He grabbed a nearby tire iron and in the process fell from his wheelchair. Crawling toward the bear, he realized he wasn't making up ground as the bear dragged Billy away. In a last-ditch effort, James threw the tire iron at the bear and hit it in the head. The painful thump of the tire iron on the bear's head forced it to release Billy and retreat a short distance to reevaluate the situation. After a few seconds, it dashed back to the boy and tried dragging him away once again, while Billy kicked and screamed. The bear apparently didn't feel satisfied that he was getting away with the boy fast enough and started clawing at the boy's back in an attempt to flip him over. That's when the fracas roused Jonathan's attention. He heard the boy's screams and pleas for help. Dashing into his garage, he searched for a weapon and found a big steel pipe a couple of feet in length. Rushing into the butler's backyard, Jonathan slapped the pipe on the ground and yelled at the bear, hoping to scare it away. When his boisterous bluff didn't run the bear off, Jonathan hurled the pipe toward the bear, striking it in the head. It once again backed off several yards and stared at the panicked people. James and his wife helped Billy get back inside their home. Billy was bleeding from his foot and his thigh. He had several claw marks on his back from the bear's attempts to flip him over. As they examined Billy's injuries, the bear made its way up the wheelchair ramp and onto the porch. It glared inside the home ominously and boldly. It was clearly unafraid of people, even after being struck in the head twice by metal bars. The Butlers worried that the bear would crash through their screen door. The threat it presented to the family was terrifying and alarming. The Butlers called the police, who notified the Connecticut Environmental Conservation Police. They were on scene in only a few minutes, and the bear stood nearby, unfazed by the activity of the officers. They fired their rifles and brought this aggressive bear to its end. An ambulance was summoned to West Street and began first aid immediately to stop Billy's wounds from bleeding. In only a few minutes they had him loaded and were speeding toward Charlotte Hungerford Hospital in Torrington. Upon admittance, Billy's wounds were cleaned and dressed. He received a bite wound to his thigh, foot, and ankle, as well as gashes from the bear's claws on his back. His wounds were not considered life-threatening, and he was given a precautionary rabies treatment, just in case. Now that the bear was dead and Billy was headed toward the hospital, wildlife officers examined the bear. It wasn't tagged, and they had no record of this bear causing any problems. Its carcass was taken to the Connecticut Metal Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory at the University of Connecticut. An examination revealed the bear to be a young adult male black bear, in excellent health, with adequate levels of body fat. It weighed 221 pounds, and had nuts, berries, leaves, and macaroni in its stomach. The presence of a human-sourced food in its digestive tract proved that the bear had been raiding trash cans, and its behavior indicated it had become habituated to human beings. Among several tests on the bear's carcass, the rabies test came back negative, so it appeared Billy was out of the woods regarding contracting the fatal disease. Officials conclude that Billy's attack was not one of desperation on the part of the bear. It wasn't starving or diseased, nor was it protecting cubs. Speaking of cubs, our Cub Tier membership on Patreon, linked below, will give you ad-free early access to our episodes, and the $3 per month goes a long way in helping me continue to produce educational and entertaining content like this. In 2022, the town of Morris reported 46 bear sightings, and in Connecticut there were 9,400 bear sightings reported. This year also had a doubling of bears reported as entering homes. By mid-September, 65 complaints of bears entering homes had been reported. In 2017, the state of Connecticut had an estimated black bear population of 600 to 800 bears. Within 5 years, the population had climbed to between 1,000 and 1,200 black bears. The area of Connecticut is 4,841 square miles. That is a bear density of 1 black bear per 4 square miles, including urban areas. For a small state, this is a very high population of bears. Connecticut doesn't currently have a bear hunting season, which would use scientific management strategies to control populations. Citizens are allowed to kill bears in defense of life and property. To avoid being criminally cited, it is recommended citizens contact the Connecticut Environmental Conservation Police for culling of problem bears. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I am left with a few questions for you. Would you consider bringing along bear spray or a firearm for playtime with your grandson in your own backyard? Why would such a healthy and robust bear prey on a child with so much food available? Would you crawl across the ground with an improvised weapon to save your grandchild from a black bear? I will tell you, that bear would think I was possessed by a demon if it got anywhere near any of my family. I'll gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so please post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it.
Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We've slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.